Hello and welcome to the 13th week of Season 22, Season of the Witch, starting on November 14th, 2023. So, for week 13, let's get going with our Legacy rotation, starting with the Forsaken expansion.
Ready if you are. Let's see what's out there.
The Dreaming City this week is at a weak curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Strand, and has the Broken Courier mission for the next week. The Blind Well features Scorn enemies and the Plagues, Sicarus and Veracus. The Ascendant challenge this week will be the Forfeit Shrine, which can be located over in the Gardens of Vasilia on the Dreaming City. Next up, the Shadowkeep expansion. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is Beyond. The Trove Guardian and the Wandering Nightmare, the Fallen Council, are both located in Archer's Line. And the Nightmare hunts this week will be Zydron, Servitude, Tanix, Isolation, and Scolus, Pride. For our Beyond Light expansion, on Europa this week, Credis, the Dark Priestess, will be the Empire hunt, Eventide Ruins will be the Eclipse zone, and the Exo challenge will be Survival. For the 30th anniversary expansion, Dares of Eternity legendary rounds are Vex, Cabal, and for the final round, Crota. The loot rotation will be on week 2's rotation, with the Scatterhorn armor set and the Perfectus armor set being available. The weapons available this week will be the Kinetic Adaptive Frame Auto Rifle Scathelock, the Kinetic Aggressive Frame Submachine Gun Extraordinary Rendition, the Void Aggressive Burst Sidearm Brass Attacks, the Void Precision Frame Linear Fusion Rifle Threaded Needle, the Solar High Impact Frame Rocket Launcher Code Dwello, the Void Lightweight Frame Bow Imperial Needle, the Solar Adaptive Frame Sniper Rifle Far Future, the Arc Adaptive Frame Sword Honor's Edge, the Solar Rapid Fire Frame Sniper Rifle Distant Terminus, the Arc Adaptive Frame Grenade Launcher Interference 6, the Kinetic Adaptive Frame Sniper Rifle Shepherd's Watch, and the Solar Adaptive Frame Hand Cannon Annual Skate. For the Witch Queen expansion, the Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Arrival, where the modifiers are Scorched Earth and Fire Pit, as well as Barrier and Unstoppable champions. Also this week you will have Altar of Reflection's Choice and Altar of Reflection's Pact. The Wellspring activity has been updated to include a featured Throne World weapon, Veritas armor, and a weapon pattern as its rewards. For the Lightfall expansion, the weekly mission is Breakneck, with extra shields, lock loadouts, and extra champions. Barrier, Overload, and Unstoppable champions, Void Threat, Pestilence, Kinetic Overcharge, Arc and Solar Surges, with Overcharged Rocket Launchers and Galvanized on Hero difficulty only. The Partition mission will be Backdoor, Contest Mode enabled, with Barrier and Overload champions, Void Threat, Arc and Solar Shields, Shock Modifier, with Void and Strand Surges. And the Vex incursion this week will be Zephyr Concourse. In addition, the weekly Lightfall reset also refreshes the Pinnacle drop for the Node Override Avalon Exotic mission on the EDZ. For the Season of the Deep, all 3 fishing ponds are now exotic all week. Raids and Dungeons. The Crota's End raid challenge this week is the first encounter, Enter the Abyss, called Conservation of Energy. Guardians must alternate between depositing the Chalice of Light in a podium and enlightening a lamp. Plus, if you complete the weekly challenge on Master, you'll get an Adept weapon. The Adept weapon you get is a random drop, but works on a knockout system. You will get a new one with every challenge you complete every week until you've unlocked them all. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the second encounter, Scission, called Crossfire. No one can shoot the launch crystals on the side they're currently standing on. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the third encounter, the Upender, called Defenses Down. This is where each player cannot kill more than one Taken Knight in total. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the second encounter, Oracles, called The Only Oracle for You. Players cannot destroy the same oracle more than once. The Deepstone Crypt challenge this week is the first encounter, Crypt Security, called Red Rover. This is where all Guardians must be an operator and shoot the 2 panels on the lower levels. The God of Salvation challenge this week is the first encounter, Embrace, called To the Top. This is where you must not kill the Cyclopses that spawn near the Consecrated Mind. And the Last Wish challenge this week is the first encounter, Kali, called Summoning Ritual. Players must activate and cleanse all 9 plates, then kill all 9 knights and ogres before damaging Kali. Your Pinnacle raid will be Kingsfall over in the Legends tab, which means all challenges will be available for each encounter. These are the first encounter, Totems, called The Grass is Always Greener. Players cannot take the same brand type twice in a row. The second encounter, War Priest, called Devious Thievery. Players must steal the brand of the Initiate within a couple of seconds of taking the brand claimer's buff. The third encounter, Golgoroth, called Gazer Maze. The gaze holder must stand in the pool of unclaimed light when swapping the gaze. The fourth encounter, Daughters of Oryx, called Under Construction. Players cannot stand on the same plate twice in a single phase. And the fifth encounter, Oryx, called Hands Off. Players must not kill the same ogre or light eater knight throughout the encounter. Also, with the Kingsfall being the featured raid, this does mean that you can farm the final boss for a chance at the exotic scout rifle Touch of Malice. The Pinnacle dungeon for this week will be the Duality over on the Derelict Leviathan on the Moon. And the exotic mission rotator will be Presage, with the Dead Man's Tale exotic scout rifle being the main reward. Craftable weapons available from this mission include the Arc Adaptive Glaive Nezarek's Whisper, the Stasis Aggressive Frame Rocket Launcher Bump in the Night, the Kinetic Precision Frame Scout Rifle Tears of Contrition, the Void Adaptive Frame Trace Rifle Hollow Denial, the Kinetic Precision Frame Auto Rifle Firefright, the Solar Lightweight Frame Shotgun Without Remorse, the Kinetic Adaptive Frame Hand Cannon or Stringer, the Solar Sidearm Drang Baroque, the Solar Adaptive Frame Sniper Beloved, and the Solar Submachine Gun Callus Mini Tool, with the Eidolon Pursuant armor set. Next up, challenges. We have now had all 75 challenges over the first 10 weeks of the season. So, as a reminder, if you complete 72 out of the 75, you can get a large pile of Bright Dust to spend at the Eververse store in-game. Here's a few that you might have missed that you might want to get completed in the next few weeks. Filamentary Magic. Defeat 100 targets with Strand, Arc or Solar Supers. Earn bonus progress for defeating Guardians. 4. Challenge XP+. Trial by Firing Squad. Win multiple rounds in Trials of Osiris. 4. Challenge XP+++, Bright Dust and a Trials weapon. Fleeting Glory. Complete Crucible matches in the competitive playlist. And bonus progress for wins. 4. Challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. Bounty Conjurer. Complete 3 daily bounties during the Season of the Witch. 4. Challenge XP+. Darkest Nightfall. Complete any Nightfall on Hero difficulty or higher. 4. Challenge XP+, Bright Dust and a Nightfall weapon. Mod Collector. Unlock 12 artifact mods. 4. Challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. And Lost in Legend. Complete a Lost Sector on Legend or Master. 4. Challenge XP+ and Bright Dust. Hello! As a reminder, your daily Lost Sector will show you a flag outside which will give you details of threats, shields, champions and exotic armour you will find inside. But if you're new to the game or using an alternate character and can't find the flag outside, you will have to run through the Lost Sector normally to have it show up on your map as a Legend/Master, which you can either do solo or with a fire team. But you'll only be able to earn a chance at the exotic drop when completing solo. Tuesday, November 14th will be Bunker E15 on Europa for exotic chests, Void Threat, Solar and Strand Surges, Void Shields, Shocker Modifier, Overcharged Grenade Launchers with Barrier and Overload Champions. Wednesday, November 15th will be Bay of Drowned Wishes on the Dreaming City for exotic helmets, Arc Threat, Solar and Strand Surges, Void Shields, Stalker Shield Modifier, Overcharged Snipers with Unstoppable and Overload Champions. Thursday, November 16th will be Vel's Labyrinth on a Cosmic Dome for exotic boots, Arc Threat, Solar and Strand Surges, Arc and Solar Shields, Fire Pit Modifier, Overcharged Shotguns with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Friday, November 17th will be Exodus Garden 2A on the Cosmic Dome for exotic gauntlets, Void Threat, Solar and Strand Surges, Void Shields, Scorched Earth Modifier, Overcharged Linear Fusion Rifles with Barrier and Overload Champions. Saturday, November 18th will be Sepultura on the Throne World for exotic chests, Solar Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Solar and Arc Shields, Fire Pit Modifier, Overcharged Fusion Rifles with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Sunday, November 19th will be Extraction on the Throne World for exotic helmets, Arc Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Arc and Void Shields, Raider Shield Modifier, Overcharged Glaives with Overload and Unstoppable Champions. And finally, back round to Monday, November 20th will be Metamorphosis on the Throne World for exotic boots, Arc Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Arc and Solar Shields, Scorched Earth Modifier, Overcharged Machine Guns with Overload and Unstoppable Champions.
Lead the way.
Our 13th featured Nightfall of the season will see us face off against Alakul in the Lightblade over on the Throne World, where you have a chance to get a Pinnacle engram if you complete the Nightfall with a score of 200k or more. This Nightfall will require you to own the Witch Queen expansion. You'll be able to earn high-end gear for your characters, including the Nightfall featured weapon, exotic gear, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, ascendant shards and adept Nightfall ciphers. The higher the Nightfall difficulty, the more common the drop will be, with the featured weapon and exotic gear being uncommon at hero difficulty to being common with ascendant shards in Grand Masters. Legend and low Nightfalls will have 8 barrier, 2 unstoppable and 7 lucent champions, with 6 solar and 12 arc shields. Masters and GMs will have 12 barrier, 3 unstoppable and 7 lucent champions, with 6 solar and 8 arc shields. Your Nightfall modifiers are Hero difficulty maximum effective level 1765, matchmaking is available, enemies have extra shields, champions foe, you will face barrier, unstoppable and lucent champions. You can either use intrinsic exotics, use a subclass debuff or unlock anti-champion mods from the seasonal artifact. Arc Threat, 25% increase to incoming arc damage. Empath, enhanced radar, take increased damage from melee. Overcharge weapons. Weapons overcharged from the seasonal artifact are active in this activity. Kinetic weapons do increased damage when your subclass element matches an active surge. Arc Surge, 25% bonus to outgoing arc damage. Void Surge, 25% bonus to outgoing void damage. Overcharge Grenade Launcher, 25% bonus damage with grenade launchers. Galvanized, combatants have more health and are more difficult to stun. Legend difficulty, maximum effective level 1815, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. No matchmaking. Equipment locked, you will be unable to change your equipment once the mission starts. Master difficulty, maximum effective level 1820, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. Champions Mob, this difficulty adds more champion enemies. Chafe, radar is disabled. Grandmaster difficulty, maximum effective level 1815, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. Join in progress disabled. Extinguish, if your fire team falls in a restricted zone, your team is returned to orbit. Limited revives, gain additional revives by defeating champions up to a maximum of 20. And Contest Mode, which caps your power level to make enemies more of a challenge. To combat champions this season, you have access to subclass counters as well as a choice of intrinsic anti-champion artifact mods, which are Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle, Anti-Barrier Bow, Unstoppable Scout Rifle, and Unstoppable Fusion. You also have exotic weapons and armor that can help with intrinsic mods as well. For Anti-Barrier, the Kinetic Bow Wishender, the Kinetic Linear Fusion Rifle Arbalest, the Kinetic Pulse Rifle Revision 0, the Solar Energy Hand Cannon Ariana's Vow, the Solar Heavy Sword the Lament, and the Titan Gauntlet's Second Chance, which gain a second charge of a shield throw melee, which becomes shield piercing and stuns barrier champions. And for Unstoppable, the Kinetic Fusion Rifle Bastion, the Kinetic Hand Cannon Malfeasance, the Kinetic Scout Rifle Touch of Malice, the Solar Energy Sidearm Devil's Ruin, the Void Heavy Bow Leviathan's Breath, and the Hunter Gauntlet's Atheris's Embrace, which have a chance to stun unstoppable champions with their empowered weighted knife. The Nightfall featured weapon to obtain this week will be the Arc High Impact Frame Fusion Rifle Loaded Question. The Loaded Question has a base impact of 90, range of 52 and stability of 25. It can roll with Controlled Burst, Reservoir Burst and Harmony, with Envious Assassin, Under Pressure and Auto-Loading Holster. It has the origin trait of Stunning Recovery, where if you stun a champion you partially refill the magazine, trigger health regen and improve your recovery for a short duration. And Vanguard Vindication, where final blows with the weapon grant a small amount of health. Lord Shaxx brings Momentum Control to the Crucible for the 13th week of the season. Momentum Control is a 6v6 PvP mode which is a variation on the regular control mode, where every weapon is significantly higher in lethality, meaning that you can take out your opponents much faster than normal. Respawns are instant, and defeating enemy players in Momentum Control will grant faster regeneration on your melee, grenade and super. Players get increased damage resistance when they activate a super, to help counteract that little bit of extra damage that the guns give out. The mode also has increased capture speed on points and radar is removed for every player. Achieve victory by capturing zones and defeating opponents. And Rift will also be available in the Relentless Crucible playlist. Rift is a 6v6 game mode that focuses heavily on objective-based gameplay and not just killing the enemy team. Instead of accruing points based on defeating enemies, players can score points by picking up the spark and dunking into their opponent's rift, which is near the enemy spawn. A team can either win by scoring 5 points before the opposing team can, by scoring 3 points without the enemy team getting a look in, or having more points when the time runs out. The spark spawns in the centre of the map and starts to charge after 6 seconds of the round starting, and becomes visible for all players on the map. After another 12 to 13 seconds, the spark is available for players to pick up, giving both teams approximately 20 seconds to fight over the spark before either side can pick it up. For 5 seconds after a player picks up the spark, they become marked on both teams' maps. After that, they're only marked on their own team's map unless they are in view of the enemy team. The carrier can only hold onto the spark for 1 minute and 15 seconds. After that, the spark detonates, killing the carrier and those around them before resetting. Should the carrier die in any way that isn't from the spark detonating, the spark drops at that location. If a player picks up the spark whilst in their super, they are immediately pulled out of their super. Furthermore, they will not gain any more super energy whilst holding the spark, and will be unable to use their super even if it is fully charged. If a player dies, they must wait 10 seconds before respawning, but their teammates can revive them during this time. This forces players to focus on teamwork to help push up on their enemies, but can also leave some players out of the game for an extended duration if their team can't or won't revive them. And available in the Crucible Labs playlist this week will be Relic. Relic is a 6v6 PvP party mode where all players wreak havoc and destruction on their foes with a Relic weapon. Relics include the Aegis Shield from Vault of Glass, the Synaptic Spear from Season of the Risen, and the Scythe from Season of the Haunted. Each player charges their personal Relic energy by defeating opponents with their normal loadout. Upon reaching full charge, players can acquire the Relic from the Relic Depot. Defeating Relic holders and using Relics to defeat opponents earns points for the team.
Lightfall!
And Valus Forge returns to the tower for the final time this season, bringing with him the Iron Banner. This is a week-long free-to-play Crucible event, which means there will be no Trials of Osiris at the weekend. Power level is disabled, meaning you can go into Iron Banner with whatever weapons and armour you would like. Iron Banner also brings with it challenges and a seal to become an Iron Lord. Each day for 4 days for each character from Tuesday Reset, Lord Saladin will give you the opportunity to receive Pinnacle rewards and rank boosts. By hovering over the Iron Banner node on the directory, it will show you the 2 series objectives. Each series has 4 challenges rolled out daily over the week. Series 1, players can complete Iron Banner matches with no restrictions to earn Iron Banner rank bonus multipliers. Series 2, players can earn points in Iron Banner with a specific seasonal subclass equipped to earn Iron Banner Pinnacle rewards. You can either play each day and collect each Pinnacle and rank boost, or you can wait until the Friday Reset to play all the games you need to receive all the Pinnacles and boosts in one go. To receive the rank boost, you will have to play 3, 7, 12, and 18 games in total for all 4 boosts. And to receive the Pinnacles, you will have to get 50, 125, 225, and 350 points whilst having a specific seasonal subclass equipped. As a reminder, Pinnacle rewards will give you +5 to your power level if you are below the power cap of 1800. But if you are 1800 trying to reach the Pinnacle cap of 1810, then the Pinnacles will give you +2 in light. Players can rank up with Lord Saladin to receive rewards from his reward track, and equipping any Iron Banner armour, ornament, or weapon plus Iron Banner emblem will progress your progress faster in ranking up. This is multiplied if you complete the daily boost as well. For the Iron Banner gear boost requirements, all 5 pieces must be equipped as gear or ornament for it to take effect. In Iron Banner Control, 2 teams of 6 are pitted against each other, with the objective to control 3 stationary fire pit capture points scattered around the arena, just like in a regular control match. Capturing one zone gets you +1 point, capturing an additional zone will get you +2 points, and capturing all 3 zones will get your team +3 points. This also applies to kills whilst holding the zones. 0 to 1 zone will get you 1 point per kill, and 2 zones +2 points per kill. If a team captures all 3 zones on the map, that team will activate the hunt, which locks both teams out of capturing the zones for 25 seconds. The team who initiates the hunt will earn 3 points per kill, whilst the hunted team will only earn 1 point per kill. After the 25 seconds have passed, all zones will become unlocked and the teams can recapture the zones again. A mercy rule can be activated if one team reaches 60% score before the other team reaches 20. With this being the final Iron Banner of the season, this does mean that you have one more chance to become an Iron Lord by completing 7 triumphs. These are Shoulders of Victory, win matches in the Iron Banner playlist across all events and seasons. Ganora's Seal, acquire Iron Banner armour. Each armour piece must be unique to count towards the total. Ormond's Taste, acquire Iron Banner weapons. Each weapon must be unique to count towards the total. All-Wing Spirit, earn points by completing objectives in the Iron Banner playlist modes. Frostmire's Will, complete Iron Banner challenges. Grimmel's Dedication, reset Iron Banner rank twice. Jorum's Howl, complete Iron Banner matches whilst wearing at least 1 piece of Iron Banner armour. An additional progress for each piece of Iron Banner armour equipped. And to gild the title this season, you have 5 triumphs to complete, which are Glorious Howl, win Iron Banner matches, and additional progress for each piece of Iron Banner armour equipped. Again with Feeling, reset Iron Banner rank. On Point, earn points by completing objectives in the Iron Banner playlist modes whilst using a Strand, Solar, Arc or Void subclass. One and Done, complete all 4 Iron Banner challenges in a single Iron Banner celebration. And Down Dear Friend, defeat 200 Guardians in Iron Banner, and bonus progress for using Iron Banner weapons from the current season. Season of the Witch Iron Banner brings with it new rewards to collect, including the Woodland Warband emblem and a legendary shader, Dragon's Teeth. The 2 returning Iron Banner weapons this season are the Guiding Sight Strand High Impact Frame Scout Rifle, which has a base impact of 67, range of 65 and aim assist of 30. In column 1 it can roll with a new trait called Enlightened Action, where dealing damage improves reload speed and handling. Also, Gutshot Straight and Perpetual Motion. And in column 2 it can roll with another new trait called Precision Instrument, where dealing sustained damage increases precision damage. Also, Cascade Point and Kill Clip. It has the origin perk of Skulking Wolf. While at low health, Guardian Final Blows with the weapon grant enhanced radar and remove you from the opposing radar. And Nadir's Focus. Sustained fire increases accuracy and range. And the Point of the Stag Art Precision Frame Bow, which has a base impact of 76, accuracy of 68 and aim assist of 72. It can roll with Golden Tricorn, Vorpal Weapon and Precision Instrument, with Archer's Tempo, Shot Swap and no distractions. It also has the origin perk of Skulking Wolf and Wildcard, where final blows with this weapon have a chance to create experimental submunitions at the target's location.
That is amazing.
This week should also see double XP across all Crucible playlists, including Labs and Iron Banner. Also, don't forget with us moving into the final few weeks of the season, this is your reminder to start collecting all of your Season of the Witch past items, any items left over from Season of the Deep Season Pass from Bungie.net, plus your reward track items and engrams from Banshee44, the Gunsmith, Shax, Crucible, Zavala, Vanguard, Drifter, Gambit, and Saint 14 Trials. Grab these before the end of the season as they will reset and you will lose all items when the new season starts. Don't forget you can also start hoarding those bounties to get a leg up on XP and artifact progression for next season. And that's it for week 13 of Season of the Witch. Aye Art Guardians.
Guardian down.